Hey there! Yep, that's right. We're doing Jello, but there's something else going on here. Jiggly animation is one of the most attractive types of animation and or simulation if you must. And we can actually do some really cool jiggly animation movement in Procreate Dreams. And I've done some experiments early on, like last year, with some jellyfish, which I plan on also doing. But for today's exercise, this is what I have for you. Check this out. Look how cool that is, even up close. Isn't that cool? Isn't that neat? Isn't that hysterical? And until now, I'm still not mentioning what is this related to, what show it's related to, but I'm sure many of you might have instantly thought about it. Anyway, so how do we do this? To do this exercise, you will need the visuals. And you know what? How about this? I'll provide the visuals for you, since I drew all of these, and I can share them with you, so you can get into the exercise right on. You don't have to worry about drawing stuff. You don't have to just, yeah, I'll provide it, okay? Also, make sure any links, unless it's in the description or unless it's a pinned message from me, don't open any links from any comments. There are a lot of scams on YouTube and whatsoever, so just precaution. Okay, so what do we need to achieve this exercise? I'm gonna swipe with 3 fingers, as I mentioned in my previous video, so we can see the thumbnails. We have the background, the plate, the stapler, and the Jello. All right, so now what I'm going to do is to click on the Jello, click on the animation, and then delete all the animation, and then delete also the animation on the stapler. I made a copy of this file just in case, so I can keep the animation that I created. And now what I have is the stapler that is right there, and the Jello. This is the animation that I have to deal with. How do we plan out our animation? The first thing I would do is to animate the stapler. So select the stapler and go into the keyframer. Something I want to distinguish before I continue is that if you click on Compose, Compose would allow you to move things around without keying them. If you click on keyframe, that means you're keying them. Something that might be a bit confusing, that when you click on Compose, like I'm clicking Compose and I'm not able to move the stapler or the object. So what you need to do, like if you click on the keyframe, you could just tap the object, tap the keyframe, and then it would give you that marquee selection. But if I click on Compose and if it doesn't give me the selection, you would have to tap on the object and then you can move it around just to bring it to wherever you want it to be, okay? So keep in mind that to stage at the beginning of the animation, use the Compose only and not the keyframe. Now, I'm gonna make the stapler to come from an angle, so that would affect the jiggly movement to go in a specific direction instead of going down, just to make it more interesting. So keyframe, go to the very beginning, tap, and then on move, and then tap move and scale. Then go until the point where you wanted to just do the impact with the Jello. One thing you can easily do is you click the play and then you just imagine it in your head like you want it to be like. So that's a good stoppage point. Tap. So here is the impact point. And then I'm going to move it just a little bit forward, something that I have covered in my easing tutorial previously that I posted about 24 hours ago. So basically I'll be practicing the same thing. We have the timing here, and then I want it to slow down within the Jello. Okay, so that seems like an overall like a good timing. If I want it to feel kind of faster, it feels like it's traveling a little too linearly. So I can simply just make it curve like that. Then in here, and then with this one I would make it a little on the side. So let's see what it looks like. And yeah, this one is a little too much. And it still feels a little slow. So I can simply just click and hold that keyframe, just like I demonstrated in my previous video. And of course, the higher the velocity, the more jiggliness fun we would end with. Okay, so just one frame extra or two, and then here. And then I'm gonna, with the 3 fingers, I'm gonna just swipe right. So I would determine exactly that length of the play time. Okay, so for now, I don't have to worry about the stapler syncing. I will adjust the animation later, because now my next step is to do the jiggling. Yes, right away, right? Step right into the action. Okay, so how do we do jiggly animation? Jiggly animation is technically an animation of warping effect. So I'm gonna go here to the point of impact right here. Okay, and then I can start keying from here. But what I want to do is to have fun and make it really effortless for me to do the jiggling. So what I can do here is tap on the perform, and then tap on the perform key, then go into move, and then select warp. All right. So now what I can do is mimic the jiggliness that I want to create. Now, do we start with the tip or do we start with the main body? I would say it's better to start with the main body first to mimic the impact, and then we start to do the details. But it doesn't matter that much. It's not really that complex. So start wherever you feel like. My recommendation is that I would go the center first. So it's gonna go this way and then boom. So the impact is gonna be more like downwards. So click, then warp, and then I want that to be about, yeah, so now I'm gonna start that. That's it. One more time. I stop the timeline exactly right before the impact, then click on the perform, tap, move, then warp, and then prepare, and then I would just mimic that movement that I want. And remember to make that recoil cool effect, so you would have that jiggliness. I might have overdone it. I'll do it one more time. Undo, and then. And keep in mind that when it comes to animating jiggly animation or simulation, it's not just one component that you'd have to animate, a variety of them. So don't try to just do so much in one step. Okay. And I'm gonna limit the visibility here, so I would just focus the animation solely here. Okay, so the overall body's reaction feels okay. You can always adjust the timeline here. That's okay. Also keep in mind something that you want to keep in mind, something that might be worth looking into, is tapping on the perform, and then you can add some motion filtering. Look how amazing this software is. by just changing the motion filtering, the thumbnail itself is showing you the change, the little change of the filtering. See, the higher that filtering, the less keys it provides. The lower, the more the frequency of the movement. And because I want to have very high frequency movement, really precise movement, I'm just gonna push down the filtering, the motion filtering. But keep that in mind, it would be definitely helpful, and also another impressive feature to admire about this amazing software. So, with that said, now play again. Okay, so now my focus is gonna be on making this part, animating this part, because each one of these points has its own keys. Okay, so gonna start with this one here. Let's see. Okay, so here is where this is the stage where you're just doing the main jiggly movement. You're going with your guts. And I feel that it goes a little for a little too long to just recover with the recoil. Especially, yeah, here, this part. So I'm just gonna start to delete this and then move them around. Let's see what I have now. I'm just gonna delete this one and this one too, just so I can have quicker movement. And then another thing I'm gonna do is select that very first frame, copy, go here, tap, and then paste. What have I done here? Look at that. What I did there, other than deleting this last extra frame, what I did there was that I copied the first frame where everything was normal, and then I did the movement, and then here it is, it's back to normal, guaranteeing that it looks like what it was in the beginning. Even if I want to modify it later, at least I have that starting foundation that wouldn't go wrong. Okay, so I don't like how it's kind of jumping here, so I can simply, if I don't like the result, you can always just click and hold on the track, not on the keys, delete warp, and start over, which is fun. Okay, so one more time. Maybe I'm pushing it too much down from the center, which is not a good idea. It's probably better to push it down only from the top side. So from here, I'll only focus on the overall impact, which is left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. So let's try that. Even if it's a little exaggerated, that's fine, as far as exceeding that line. Now what I want to do is to animate this part here, and this is where I would push it down and up. And I feel that I can exaggerate it a lot more and make it more cartoony, but this is good for now. That's okay. Good enough for the exercise. Now what I need to do next is to go back into the animation of the stapler and make it to recoil along with the movement of the jello, right? Because right now it feels like it's frozen in place, but the jello is moving. No, we want something impressive here. So this is the beginning of the impact right here. Go down. Okay, so it goes down, and then starting here, we have the recoil. What does that mean? It means that right here, I want to create a key. And I'm gonna delete the key afterwards, because from here on I want it to go along with my movement. Now of course I can have more fun and tap and say I want to do perform, and then I can do this. The problem with that is that it wouldn't be accurate, and it would require a lot of fixing. My highest recommendation is, in this case, to use the keyframe. Why? I'll show you how simple and easy it is to animate the movement that I need. So here is the impact. Now the recoil starts, and you need to identify when the recoil phase stops. Why? Because I need to go as soon as it stops, like right here, right? So recoil stops the recoil. This is where I would have to animate this stapler all the way there. So like that, see that? And then here, I'm just gonna make it swim along with it. Now it's a part of that jello. Maybe a little too much, since there will be very high viscosity. And the ever so slightly movement here. Undo. Let it hold and give that extra ever so slightly ease. Then make it very subtle. Okay, and then see that here, oopsie, right here, very gentle recoil, and I'll mimic that just very so gently. Okay, I have no idea what's gonna be the result overall. It might be just done, or it could still do some, still need some work. What do you think? All right, I hope you enjoyed this video, and in the rare case that you have still no idea what's the story with the jello and stapler, I'll leave you with this short clip, and thanks for watching.
Put my stuff in jello again!